Rust Console Edition has been out for over 2 weeks now, so I think it's safe to say that we've had enough time to kind of digest the game in its updates, its graphics and everything that has been added to the game that is new, and also take into consideration what we had beforehand and how much better it is. So in today's video we're going to be going into whether you should buy the game Rust Console New Gen Edition right now, or you should delay it for a further month or two. Let's go into the graphics comparison here. So a good video to look at, which I'm going to be taking clips from, is Notgrave's video. He compares old gen to new gen, so I'll leave a link in the description to his video. Getting straight to the point, this game looks incredible in comparison to what it looks like beforehand. And even just a standalone game, I think the graphics look incredible. I've seen on some clips on TikTok people getting confused as to whether this is PC or console, so people are getting the clips mixed up. So that goes to show that the graphics upgrade has definitely been a good thing and pretty much the main selling point for the game, along with updates. It also really goes to show the people that were crying out for a new gen only edition weren't wrong in saying that, because we could have had this at least a year and a bit ago, and how much better the community may have been from that point if new gen came a lot sooner, we will never know. But it is night and day in comparison to old gen. Just looking even at the AK, again, people were saying it looked as if it was Play-Doh like. The graphics were awful, and looking at what we've got now, it's great to see that we can really enjoy and immerse ourselves in this game to its full potential. I'd also like to say well done to Double 11 and the development team over at Double 11 for working on Rust Console. They have done an amazing job. To add to the graphics, we obviously have a different FOV. This is again coming from Notgrave's video, and the FOV looks so much better. Next, the glitches. Now the glitches is where this game has had pretty much a very faulty start to its inception. Now let's cut it some slack. It had a weak early access which was messed up from Sony and Microsoft's side, but also there was a lot of glitches. One basically being insanely game breaking, which was patched, and a lot of glitches that were patched ahead of the full launch that came on the 26th of June. So really the game had a bad start, which then made the start, or the real start of the game being the 26th of June, a lot better. Let's make no mistake, these glitches were patched very, very quickly, whereas on the old gen version, we had glitches like the boat glitch and the X not going or not being displayed on trees that lasted for years. So the fact that we had glitches over on the new gen that are patched within the first week and a bit is really good to see. Again, it shows how fast and maybe easy, I'm not too sure in saying that, fixing glitches over on the new gen version as opposed to the old gen. Since I've already gone over the price of this game, I'm going to swiftly move past this segment of the video. However, do I think this game matches the price point it has? I'd like to say yes, with the game time that I've had on the game so far. Now there's one downside to this game. One of the things that wasn't necessarily promised but mentioned that we'd get on the launch of the game is that there was an anti-cheat. So far, there are a hell of a lot of cheaters on this game. Through TikTok and YouTube, you see a lot of people jittering like they're on mouse and keyboard, and then others that are literally flexing their device, making it easy for someone to simply report them. There's quite a lot of discussion, I'd like to say, around this matter because it's spoken about that we had an anti-cheat in the game. I'm not too sure as to how well the anti-cheat is performing, whether it's even in effect, I'm not too sure. But for now, it seems as if that there still is a lot of cheaters on this game. That's pretty much the major downside to this game as well, and obviously many games in the community. But specifically Rust Console, this has always been a problem since the old gen version, since way back to 2021 when this game first came out. A lot of these players predominantly came from Siege and Call of Duty. Siege had a huge mouse and keyboard problem on console that transferred over to Rust Console, which in fact there was a lot of in the community of the quote-unquote comp scene were pretty much people on devices or exploiting cheating devices. The playability of this game. How smooth is Rust Console compared to the old gen version? Now, I can safely say that there's not a huge change in FPS, however, it does run better. I don't think that made sense. All the movement and everything, such as the animations, are a lot smoother, and the FPS seems alright. It seems like it's in a stable state, whereas on console it kept on dropping and being jittery here and there. That could depend on the monitor you're using, the console you have, and maybe the internet connection you have as well. If you're playing on an EU server and you're American, you're obviously going to get bad FPS. And if you have an Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5, the best of the best in terms of range, and you have a really bad TV or monitor, you're obviously not going to reap the rewards of what is capable of the hardware you have. Let's talk about the biggest seller point to this game, and that is content. Content was something Rust Console Old Gen Edition was lacking very, very hard. And we had about 2 to 3 months of monthly updates until that came short, in which new gen version was being developed on. However, with up until 2025, Rust Console New Gen Edition is going to be getting monthly updates from August up to December of 2025. This is something that is huge because we're going to be getting monthly updates of not just small updates, may I add. We're going to be getting modular vehicles, we're going to be getting caves, we're going to be getting higher pop servers, bigger maps, which will then move on for the bigger monuments such as Excavator. We're also going to be getting desert updates or desert based updates, and also winter based updates such as Arctic Labs. All of these updates will have DLCs. These would be unique skins, I'm guessing, and other things that it can throw in, such as new weapons and new tools maybe for farming. So if you want to play Rust for content, there is going to be a lot for you from here on out to the end of 2025. Overall, buying this game I think would be a big investment for you. Obviously, if you love survival games and love playing Rust, for example, if you played it on PC and you just come into console, this game is great. I'm not gonna lie, compared to the old gen version, it's not even comparable. Yes, there are glitches still to be ironed out, but in the first few weeks of the game, you know, being on the marketplace and being playable. However, as time moves on, the glitches will be fixed, and there's more promised content for us to look forward to for the future. It's something I would definitely invest in if I was able to reinvest again. Not only that, skins look better, the game feels a lot better than it did. The frame rate is more stable. Really, it's just the cheating problem and the glitches here and there that need to be fixed. Do you think Rust Console New Gen Edition is worth the investment? Is it worth your money? Let me know in the comment section below. How have you been finding the game? And leave a like on the video if you did enjoy. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, see you in the next one. Take care.